When you really zoom out and pay attention to your surroundings, you will probably notice that most people are in some type of loop. We are all cogs in a machine, and that is okay. Today, I'm going to explain how to utilize this to build a better future for yourself. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Reese, and in today's video, I am talking about how people need structure in their lives, how we need to remove ambiguity from our routines to perform at our peak, which in turn allows us to achieve what we set out to accomplish. The idea for today's video was inspired by the book Atomic Habits, and this will be the fourth of 5 videos that I'm intending to make covering topics that I believe are not only very important to grasp, but to actually use in the real world, and they were touched on in the book itself. I have left links down in the description below to all of the other topics that I have covered where I've plucked ideas from the book which I thought were important. So feel free to check them out after this video if you find this one interesting. Okay, let's start by explaining what I mean by we are all cogs in the machine. For about 99% of us, myself included, I would say that our daily lives are dictated by a set of very relatable activities. If you are a younger person watching this video, I'm going to assume that the daily activities which dictate your life include something like a form of study potentially, a casual job, maybe the rules that your guardians have set in your home, and how you spend your free time based on the social groups you have access to. When we become adults, if we are lucky enough, we are generally confined to a 9-to-5 job. We hopefully have access to a roof over our head, which requires some level of maintenance to keep in good order, irrespective of if we pay rent, a mortgage, or own it outright. We pay our taxes and our bills to be a functioning member of society, and hopefully after doing all of this, we get the opportunity to take a vacation, whether it be long or short, where we go and get some time to refresh and relax, and then we head back to do the whole cycle again, and then eventually we die. It's a pretty scary catch-22 because without the job, we cannot live the life that we want to live, and we cannot live the life we want to live because we have to spend time earning enough money to make ends meet. And to top it all off, like I said, generally speaking, if we have access to all of this and are able to live a life like this, we're the lucky ones. So why do we actually need structure, and how do we make it work in our favor? I want you to think of a scenario where you're building with Lego bricks. With a clear set of instructions, we know exactly what steps to take in the correct sequence to complete the build that we are undertaking. Our lives are very similar in that respect when it comes to the process of setting a goal and actually seeing it all the way through to when we actually achieve it. Let's use budgeting as an example. Without any structure, it would be very difficult to do this successfully. Now, this is not only because you don't have a structure, it's because you don't have the instructions as well that you need to use to successfully pull this off. Just to keep the example simple, for the structure, you might do something similar to how I manage my own bank accounts. I personally have 5 bank accounts where each one serves a particular purpose. I will divvy up my pay based on a percentage format every time I'm paid into those accounts as well. Then I follow a set of instructions that I have set up to ensure that I do not overspend from any of those accounts by, like I said earlier, by having a purpose for each of these accounts, such as a spending account, an emergency fund, a bills account, a holiday account, and a big savings account. And if you were interested in understanding why I set my accounts out like this and what the specific rules I've set for them are, I have left a link to the video I have made talking about that topic in the description down below. Feel free to check that out if you wish. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I really do appreciate the support. It only takes a second of your time, and it really does go a long way for the channel. Anyway, in my video about habit stacking, I explained how we can create positive habits from adding new behaviors to already existing routines. That video and this video kind of go in hand. If you're someone who is wanting to build new habits, positive habits I'm going to assume, and aren't quite sure about how to go about doing it, these 2 videos will provide some perspective on how to actually go about doing it. I can almost guarantee that most people during their day would have a small pocket of time or short window where they could slot in a new activity which would eventually result in them learning a new skill over time. I have been doing this to learn Italian, where I've been spending a very short period of time every morning practicing, and now looking at my progress over the past year, I've increased my vocabulary by over 1,000 words. I can understand the language relatively fluently, and I can speak it somewhat. I'm no expert, but I can definitely say short phrases to people who would understand what I'm saying in that language. So the way to actually incorporate this into your life is to do 2 things in particular. Like I said at the start of this video, we want to remove ambiguity from our routines. Do this by being very specific about when you will perform the behavior of the new habit you want to build. For example, whenever you flush the toilet, for the next 5 minutes, you will spend 5 minutes tidying up around the house. Let's say you want your home to be a little bit cleaner than it usually is. By doing this theoretically should get you in the habit of cleaning for the sake of it without actually despising the activity. Cleaning is a really good example here because at times it can be really boring to do, and that's actually the second aspect to this actually working. It's to fall in love with boredom. That's a direct quote from the book, and it's actually my favorite from the book. Once you embrace boredom, it becomes a tool which allows you to chip away at anything. It took Mr. Beast over 44 hours to count from 0 to 100,000, which would have made me go brain dead if I watched the entire thing, which I definitely didn't do. Using the power of boredom to achieve this, he probably made enough money to fund several of his next YouTube videos, which allowed him to continue to grow his YouTube channel into the powerhouse it is today. I encourage you to have a think about how you might incorporate some structure into your daily life, how you might go about using a small pocket of time or a window of time throughout your day to incorporate a new behavior, which might stem into a new habit, which you've ultimately been trying to set over however long you've been trying to put that in place. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope it was insightful. If it was, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below. I really do appreciate the support. Make sure bell notifications are on so you don't miss any of the videos I release. And as always, I'll leave you there. Have a good day, have a good week, and I will see you in the next one.